It's hot. It's new. It's now. The Pure Focus Podcast. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. With artist spotlights, mental health, music industry information, business, life, and more. The Pure Focus Podcast. The epitome of the industry. Taking content to the next level. With your host, DJ Pinky. Check us out every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Pure Focus Podcast.
All right, good evening, you all. I am your host today, Miss DJ Pinky, and this is the Pure Focus Podcast. And today I am honored and pleased to have Miss Melodic Princess. So, Miss Melodic, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Yes, well, before we get started, can you let everybody know who Miss Melodic P or Miss Melodic Princess is?
Well, as you have told everybody, I am Melodic Princess. That's the name that I go by for as an artist, but my government name is Shayla Shannon. I'm from Fayette, Mississippi, and I'm an upcoming artist in Southern Soul.
All right. Well, Miss Melodic, today is April the 30th, and this is literally the last day in April, but I did I do know that it is Autism Awareness Month. And I know from talking with you previously and doing a little research that you work in that field as well.
Yes, I'm a site supervisor with patients with intellectual disabilities.
Okay, well, can you give us a little insight on autism before we, transition over to talking about Miss Melodic, if you don't mind?
Okay, well, just to give you a little brief insight of autism, what most people don't know, is a disorder that causes a lot of individuals to be socially, emotionally, verbally withdrawn. And so, one of the things that I do here where I work is I make sure that the individuals that I support are able to maintain and live in a community setting without having to be placed within a facility. So I do a lot of stuff on person planning, activity planning, budgeting. Oh, the list goes on. But one of the main things that we do is make sure that we put a plan in place for them to have a better life so that we can support them according to their needs.
Okay. Well, at your job, is it sometimes do you find yourself are you able to play music for some of the people that are autistic?
Absolutely. That's one of the parts where I say for is planning and engaging. We have personal planning, and then we have some that may have within their disability sensory disorders where they can't tolerate a lot of noise. But then you have those that absolutely pure love music, love for you to sing music, love for you to play music, love to dance to music. Some of them just like just rock back and forth to music. But here where I work, I will say at least the vast majority of the individuals that I support, 85% of them love music. And, Southern Soul should be very proud, that most of the individuals that we support here, they really love blues.
Okay. Oh, that sounds great. Um, okay, well, I used to work years ago. I used to work for a facility, and it was an autistic group home. And We had some that were they love music, and we would
Mhm,
exercise to the music. We had
mhm,
some that had sensory issues to light or noise.
mhm,
You had some you had to ask before you even touched them if it was okay for you to touch, because if
mhm.
you make that sudden move and touch them, baby, you get the hello knocked out of you.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a trigger. Too close for comfort can be a trigger.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to be able to make sure that the accommodations that you make for them are definitely in that activity support plan, so that the person that's supporting them, they can know all those things. Some of them are time sensitive, listening to music too long for just the amount of time that they listen to it. They'll listen to it for a duration of time, but after an extended period of time, then they begin to get combative. So it's just you got to know what triggers them. So one of the key things when dealing with the individual that may have a disorder and how to support them, you have to be very observational.
Okay. Correct. Okay. Is there any pointers or anything that we should let the audience know, when dealing with someone with autism?
Yes, my major pointer that I make to individuals when working with an individual that has an intellectual disability: passionate. You have to be passionate. That's the key point to me. You have to be passionate. You have to have patience. You have to have a love for what you do, because you can't. You got to be able to really have just what I said: passionate, patience, understanding, listening, be able to be coachable, um, be able to explain things, because when you're dealing with people with disabilities, you have to understand that their level of understanding sometimes can cause them to be frustrated. So when they know that you really don't have the time or want to do what you're called to do, then that can sometimes make them frustrated as well. So I go back to say, when you say key pointers that you need to have, you definitely need to be patient. You need to be passionate about what you do. You have to love it. And if you don't love it, I tell my individuals that I hire, when I bring individuals in, I listen to keywords, how their dialect, some of the things that they say. And I'm one of the supervisors here that they'll tell you that, like, if you come through me to get hired, um, I'm kind of real hard. And it's not to be hard in a dogmatic approach, but hard because I have loved ones who have intellectual disabilities. I know a lot of things that may trigger them. So I don't just I value their life as an advocate enough to be careful who I say can render the job and do whatever they need to do to support them, because everybody may want a job, but this may not be the best job for you, because it definitely requires work.
Yes, it does. And patience, man. Patience. You have to have patience. So
Yeah.
now, with that, how do you manage to balance work and home? How do you manage to balance that?
Oh, it's super hard. I'm not gonna I ain't gonna sit here and give nobody the impression like it's easy, because I've had many days where I thought that I was on the verge of a mental breakdown myself, trying to be able to balance what I had to do at home. Um, for people that don't know, I was in school at one time, still in school, working on my master's, working on PhD, finished my master's, working on PhD, and working on music, coming here every day, trying to be a supervisor, trying to do the expectations that corporate had for me to do. And it was just like, I could, it was just like, when is it gonna end? Like, I just felt like, wasn't enough hours in the day to do what I needed to do. Balance being a mom, balance being a daughter. Whenever my parents would call and say, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, then get home, having to cook, then study. And most people know, when you're in grad school and working on doctoral level, you don't do homework like undergrads do. At this point in my life, I'm writing a lot of papers. Then I have to come back to work and I have to do activity support plans. Then I have to go through, review PSSs. Then I have to do the budget report. You take one body where I work at, and that one body is utilized to do a lot of different tasks that you could actually hire multiple people to do, but they get it all out of one individual to do it. So it's never a dull moment, but I find balance in doing what I do by being able to interact with the individuals that I support. So a lot of times when I should have been at my desk doing paperwork and planning and stuff like that, I found that time to interact and be really passionate about the job, learn about the individuals, which made me eager enough to say, you know what, I don't mind going out doing the planning. I don't mind reviewing the PSSs, because now I've had this opportunity to engage with this person through one-on-one experience. So now I don't mind writing whatever type of paperwork I need to write to be able to complete some of the core task responsibilities that I had to do on a day-to-day basis. And I said that to say I started using my music. I started using my music on a day-to-day basis. Like every day, the individuals that I support, they can't tell you that they don't know who Melodic Princess is, because those are my true fans. Those are my fans. If I have like an event, one of my events that I did just recently back here in Fed, that's who showed up, that's who came out and supported me. And I tell you one thing, from the time we played music to the time that I sung to them, they didn't sit down out one time. So every moment that I was up and engaged, they was engaged with me. Sometime if I come up in here and I don't sing, if I'm just having a rough moment and it's totally strictly about work, that you could tell the atmosphere difference, because they'll come in and they'll say, what's wrong with you? You ain't singing today? And then I have one guy, he'll come in. I don't even know where he got the name Nene from, but when he come in, he'll say, Nene, you ain't gonna sing today? Nene, you ain't gonna sing? And I'd be like, nah, we ain't gonna sing today. He was like, Nene, if you don't sing, I ain't gonna be good.
Yeah.
Nene, you don't sing, I ain't gonna be good.
See there. Now you got your top supporter now.
Yeah. So, even when they working out, if they go on the bluff, wherever they go, we're singing, we're dancing, and some of them won't stop dancing until I stop. And even when I stop, they still looking at me to see if I'm gonna get back up. So I just use this job right here. I can't really say much bad about it. There are some pros and cons to it, but one of the best experiences that I've had thus far since I've been here is being able to use the tools that God has given me to be a vessel and a blessing to them, because I know that they enjoy every moment of it. Some of them are nonverbal, and even the ones that are nonverbal, that don't mean that they have lost everything. Like they don't have no sense of direction to anything. Even my ones that's nonverbal and they hear me sing, they still looking at me. It's like a look in their eye to let me know I love it. I'm listening, like I can hear it. So that gives me a lot of happiness and joy just to see them, being able to relate to me. Each one of them know, like, it was phase periods when I first started in Southern Soul was last year, 2023 of July. But every song that I've came out with, they have been here throughout the journey, and they know those songs. So when they hear them and we're playing them on the stereo in there in the day program, they up and they listen and they say, that's you. That's you. I know who that is. I have them want to come on my face. I try to separate my personal life, my business life from my personal life. And even in the midst of me trying to do that, I have had individuals here that'll come on my Facebook page or wherever I'm in and say, I seen you on Facebook last night and you was such and such and such. Oh, you was pretty in that purple dress, and purple is my favorite color. Like, they're very engaged. They're very observational of my journey since I've been in this music thing.
And how does that make you feel?
Makes me feel real good. It makes me feel real good. And it makes me feel good, and it makes me advocate for them much harder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this. It don't sound like you get much sleep.
I don't. And when I do sleep, I try to get it in. When I do sleep, I try to get it in. It's never, I'm a thinker. I never stop letting this go. If something is not working for me, I don't dwell on it too long. I'll move on to something else. But whatever it is, I'm going to always be working this brain.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you probably, like most, you probably started out young, probably started out in the church.
I started singing when I was 6 years old, and I did start off singing in church as a little girl. making up songs about the roses are red, the violets are blue. And I can remember, I think I made a name every crayon in the crayon box. And I think when I got to the point of saying, and the roses are black, my granddaddy said, okay, baby, that's enough. It's time to sit down. So yes, I'm a preacher's kid. I come from a church background. I come from a quartet background family where grandfather, grandmother, they sung. So, that's where a lot of people say, well, where did you get singing from? And at first I would never answer that. And then I think my auntie, she chimed into one of my podcasts one day that I had with someone. And she was like, did you know that your grandmama and your granddaddy used to do so? I was like, I never had a clue. She was like, yes, they were in quartet groups. So that was something that I was happy to hear, because there was a piece of history that I never knew until recently after, coming over here doing podcasts, and my auntie shared that information with me. And I have a slew of aunties, cousins, have nieces that sing as well.
So just a whole congregation of family that can do what they do.
Yes, but outside the fact that I'm also a preacher's daughter, I'm a preacher's kid. They say we the worst ones.
I ain't on that. We're gonna leave that one alone. But that's not always true. They always
It's
want to
not,
judge. They always
because
want to
I've
judge
always
that
tried
book
to
by the
make a
cover.
difference.
Yeah, they always
I've
judge.
always tried to make a difference, because my father had a saying when I was coming up, I was almost too scared to do anything. Now, I'm not gonna say I didn't do things. I was scared because he always had this thing that we live by. If you go outside this house and you put on a circus and make us all look clowns, then when you come back from the circus, you ain't gonna like the show that I give you. So that stuck in my head as a child growing up. Like, I was not gonna bring any type of embarrassment to my family.
Yes, indeed. Well, another question that I have for you: inspiration. Where do you find your inspiration? Well, let me rephrase this. What is your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration My biggest inspiration is, I have to say, my family. That's my biggest inspiration. That's what inspires me the most. My family, my passion to care for others. That's my inspiration. My relationship with God. That's my inspiration. Because without all of those things, I wouldn't be able to press my way through. As the song say, press my way through. I wouldn't be able to do it. So those are the things that give me the inspiration that I have. It's not nothing other than that,
Oh man,
you know?
amen. Well, I know we've talked several times, and when we're talking, you seem like you got everything put together. Um, you write your own music. I know that. Um,
I have written some songs, and then I also heavily depend on others to write as well. I find others people's artistic abilities sometimes to be better than mine, which makes me value theirs more than mine, which makes me say, hey, I want that versus what I have, because I'm more of my creative process for the way I make music is totally different from others. Like, some may just come up with a melody or have a melody in their head when it comes for its music. My creative process is, I basically deal with a lot of emotions, relatable contents, things that I've gone through, things that I've experienced. So I try to kind of, like, lately I've tried to observe what people may be into, but that still never takes away from the fact that I'm true to who I am. So I find myself writing lyrics before I have a melody. So that's my creative process. I write, then I try to come up with a melody. And I will tell anybody, it's about the hardest thing in the music to do if don't nobody really understand it, because really you want to have a melody before you have your lyrics, because most people can listen to the lyrics or the melody of a song, listen to the melody of a song and then place lyrics with it. I'm one of those people where I can write lyrics and then try to search for a melody.
hmm. Yeah, that is sound kind of hard and difficult.
It's very hard. That's why I have a tablet full of songs that's just stuck there.
So that's probably what sets you apart from everybody else.
I won't tell anybody. I have a ton of music. You could collaborate or talk to other people that I've talked to and I've expressed and shared some of my contents with, and they'll say, "Oh wow, yeah, you do have information." Like, I have contents, but I don't put the contents out because I'm stuck at this point trying to figure out, like, okay, like, I see what this reading like, because, and then I told one person, I think I was talking to another artist, and I say, maybe I need to rethink this thing. Maybe I'm not an artist. Maybe I can just sing. I have the ability to know how to sing, but maybe I'm a poet because I know how to fluently write lyrics. But then when it comes to putting the craft together, oh, I suck. I ain't gonna lie and tell nobody. Like, I 100% suck.
Dang.
I really do.
Well, are there any other artists that you might would like to collab with? Maybe that can help you, get off the ground. Is there anybody that you may be
Um,
interested in working with?
if I sit down right here today, Pinky, and I tried to tell you everybody that I had a desire to collaborate with, I probably would be here all night. And I don't want to step on anybody's toes. But one thing that I will tell you, as a new upcoming artist, authentically, I can say this, realness, true. There's not a person that I have met within this industry so thus far that I don't value their music. Like, I see so much great talent out there. I mean, like, literally, it is so much great talent out there. And I may not be able to comment on everybody's stuff every time that I see it, but when I see something, I like to give people their flowers while I can. But it's just so much out there. When I tell you, that's really from the heart that, I'm basically a fan of everybody's music that I hear. I love it. I like it. I vibe to it. I dance to it. And sometimes I sing to it. And when I'm in the tub, wherever I'm at, that's just how much I value their music. So when you say, is it anybody that I would like to collaborate with? It's a lot of them. It is definitely a lot of them. But I know that, realistically speaking, in real time, I cannot collaborate with everybody or be able to, handle business like that. But it's just so much great talent out there. It's great talent.
Okay. Well, I know as that you're a new artist. You're new to the scene. On our segment last week, I had a promoter on, Mr. Jasmine Wheeler, and I had
Mhm.
three other DJs. I had DJ Big O, DJ Vivacious, and DJ D Bell from Texas. I had them on, my Fleet brothers and sisters, and we
Mhm.
had an interesting conversation. And a lot of artists are trying to figure out how do they get on, what do they do. So we was asking Mr. Wheeler certain questions, but I think for myself, they always say it's good to know a DJ. So yes,
Mhm.
it's good to know DJs, to get the music out. So how do you go about getting your music out?
I've been real slack. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been real slack. I've had some good people that has been very helpful on this journey with making sure that my information, my content's been placed in DJ drops. I have personally sent out a lot of information of my music, rather I should say, to DJs and stuff, ones that have requested. But one thing I have also done, I have been very patient in the journey. Like, I think we've talked in the past, and I've told you once before, like, I have no desires to, be famous, none of that other kind of stuff. It's just everything that I do has been very much so in time. You know, Whenever the right time, I'm okay with it. I ain't that hungry for it. Like, I'm serious. Like, I really say that, and it's not because I have a 9 to 5 or I'm looking for alternative income. It's just that I feel like when God is ready to take me to the next level, it's gonna happen, and when it happens, then I'm gonna be able to do what I need to do, because I feel like just because I sing, I need people to understand that there's more that come along with me than the fact that I can sing, because I definitely want to be able for people to identify that when I do sing, that this gift was not something that I asked for. It was given to me. And when I use it, I definitely want to be able to be a blessing to somebody by ministering to them, regardless of what the contents are, whether it's Southern soul, R&B, jazz, rock, whatever it is. Whatever I deliver to the people that hear me, that love Shayla or Melodic Prince, I want to leave something that they can remember behind. Not just the fact that, hey, that's Melodic Princess, but what about Melodic Princess that resonates with you, that makes you know that the next time you see her, you're going to know that that's Melodic Princess. So whatever that's coming out of my mouth, the contents that I'm delivering, I want them to remember me for that. I want them to know me for that. So I'm not crazy. I'm not oblivious about this thing. This music thing ain't gonna happen overnight, and I'm okay with that. It's not gonna happen overnight.
Oh, I agree. I'm glad you said that. We got some artists feel that if they send in their songs to DJs or they pay for promotion, that it's going to happen overnight. It could take months, sometimes weeks. It could take years.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always taught when it's your season, it's your
It's
season.
your season. It's your
So,
season.
and
And I have a saying too. As an artist, as a new artist, one of the things that I daily encourage myself, because like I say, I'm not thirsty for anything. God is going to take me places that man can't stop me anyway. So
amen.
why am I in a rush?
Amen. Hey, you know what? The tortoise and the hare. So who came out on top? The tortoise. He took his time and he
Mm-hmm.
came out on top. And that's
Mm-hmm.
me. I don't put myself in a box. I try to be a little different from others. And
Right.
sometimes it's best to learn. Learn the industry, learn what you
I
do
always feel
before
a
you jump
student.
out there.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to always be a student, be teachable, be coachable, be one of those that want to learn. Um, and I definitely would say I'm one of those that want to learn. I take continuing education real serious. I take it so serious that my dad said, "You're gonna be a student for the rest of your life, ain't?" I was like, "Well, if that's how you want to look at it, pretty much so. But as long as I'm a student, I'm still learning. So yeah, it's okay to continue to be a student because you can't always pretend like you know it all. Be a researcher, even when you don't know. You
Amen.
know, and if you don't know, you better pretend like you almost know. So you just got to always be in that point in your life that you want to learn more. And I'm one of those where I want to learn more.
All right. Well, we're gonna get into some of this music that you got. I mean, I love your voice. It's very calming.
Thank
It's
you.
I mean, I could be feeling some type of way, and there was one song though that I fell in love with, and that was the first song that I got of yours was "Give Me You." So, can you kind of give us a little take on that? The process. Where did that come about?
Give me love.
Oh yeah, give
Um,
me love. That's it. I'm sorry, my bad.
that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Give me love. Was a song that was not written by me. It was actually written by Anthony Coleman, which most people may know him in this music world as multi. He's known for the song "Been Looking for Love." So he's the one that wrote that song. That creative process was his, but I think what we did was we went through a couple of songs, and I had desires to work other songs that he felt like, oh no, indeed, that's just you're too high pitched for those songs. Like your range is too high for him. So we let those songs behind, but in the midst of that, Ty had the ability to be able to work with me long enough to observe me. So we shared, we talked, we did a lot in the time that we was meeting up. So in that time, he really looked at some things that I was going through in life after us having a one-on-one conversation. And so I never forget that we was working on a song. Initially, the song that I wanted to sing was Layover, a song that he had written called Layover. And he's like, it's real low. I don't think that one's gonna work for you. And then he said, I got an idea. He said, I think you're gonna be happy with this one based off of, some of life situations that you and talked to me about, things that you've gone through. He said, I got a song for you. He said, I think you really gonna like this one better. He said, the name of the song is Give Me Love. I was like, okay. So the title of it kind of like was catchy to me because like I said, I had went through some situations or whatever. And I could relate to the fact that how many people don't want somebody to give them love? And so when we started working that song, it was just like that. He was like, "That's it. This is gonna be the song right here." And when I sung the song and we started working on it, I practiced so much because I'm listening to the contents of what I'm hearing. And I started to hear that in my mind, and I had to sing it because I know in my life what I had gone through. And it gave me the ability to be able to fluently sing that song with the passion that I had, because everybody in life, some point in time or another, whether it's relationship wise, familyship wise, workship wise, whatever, society wise, we all want to be in an environment where somebody's just show me love, give me love. And so that's how that song came about. Give me love.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you introduce that track, and then we're gonna listen to it, and then we'll jump back into a couple of more questions. So let everybody know who you are and the name of that track, and then we're gonna roll it.
Okay, my name is Melodic Princess, you guys. And if you have not heard, this is my song entitled Give Me Love.
Ooh, and how can I say this?
When you're close, get a rush in your head to touch. All I dreamed of, and you're more than enough.
And ooh, how can I show you?
When your hand touches me, oh, how you set me free. Wherever you are is where I wanna be.
There's just one thing I need from you. There's just one thing I need you to do. Give me love, sweet love, your love.
When you're close, get a rush in your head to
Give me love, sweet love, your love.
When your hand touches me, oh, how you set me free.
And is your heart capable?
Tell me,
Or is it all just a dream? I'm willing to give you all. I wanna give you all of me. There's just one thing I need from you. There's just one thing I need you to do. Give me love, sweet love, your love.
when you're close, get a rush in your head to
Give me love, sweet love, your love.
When your hand touches me, oh, how you set me free.
I'm not asking for too much.
I'm not asking for too much.
Take your time, but hurry up.
Your time now.
'Cause your love is worth the run. Give me love, sweet love,
Sweet
give me love, sweet And ooh, how can I say this?
Oh man, you got a very, very calming voice.
Thank you.
That right there would be good for a wedding,
Mhm.
a first dance, or coming down. That's a really beautiful song.
Hmm.
So you tell multi that one there is. I like that. I like that a lot. I saw some hearts going up too. I put some
Thank
hearts up
you.
too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Then put a little rabbit with a heart on there. So yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Got Rick
Thank you.
Outlaw. Rick Outlaw checking in. Salute to all my DJs, promoters, managers of other artists are checking in, and other artists are checking in. So thank you guys for tuning in. We have Miss Melodic Princess here, and she is from Fayette, Mississippi. Very humble and sweet soul. I mean, if y'all didn't catch the first part, y'all just go back and check it out. But she's a lady with many talents. So do you have any other hidden talents besides singing? And that you work, where you work. Is there any other hidden talents we don't know about?
A lot of people don't know, but I do a little grant writing. I write. I'm a researcher. So that's another thing that most people don't know about me, that I will get out here and I will use this brain to research and see what resources are available on whatever type of level that I need to research. Like I tell a lot of people that I work with patients with intellectual disabilities, but my degree is in political science pre-law. So in spite of singing, my dad had very high hopes of saying, when you gonna take your LSAT? When you gonna do this? And I wanted to say I took it, but I missed it by 16 points. So I don't have no plans to go to law school no time soon. So we're gonna have to hold off on it. We're gonna have to keep on working this thing. But I'm a political science pre-law major. And so I deal a lot with policies. I like listening to political realm. I love politics. So anything according to state laws, I like to take policies and reverse them to see how they can be accommodating for the individuals, citizens. So that's who I am. So those are some of those hidden talents that I have. I'm a researcher, I'm a writer. That's what I like to do. You may even see a book coming sooner or later, but I love to write.
Sure, you just took my question because I sure gonna ask you, are we planning on writing a book? Because you just hit
Yes, yes.
because you're deep. What's your end goal? What do you want to accomplish out of everything?
Um, like I told you earlier, the end goal for me is, I come from a family of entrepreneurs, so entrepreneurship is already in my bloodline. I'm looking at some things and exploring with some things that I want to do for us being an entrepreneur. But the realistic goal is just to be content, happy, and live in the will of God. Those are realistic goals for me. I don't try to be unrealistic in my thinking, because everything that I try to do, I want my goals to be goals that I can attain. I don't want to just say something that's real far-fetched and say, well, in the next 10 years, I plan that, I'm gonna be a blessed and I'm gonna be making a 6-digit, or this type of figure. I want to be realistic, and whatever is in the will of God, that's what I want to stay in, because I'm realistic.
Oh, yeah. Well, do you have any advice that you want to give to others that are like you, just trying to find your way? Do you have any advice for people in the entertainment business?
Stay focused, stay in your own lane, drive your own car, be humble, and whatever you do, always keep God first,
Mm.
and everything else will fall in place. Because sometime in this life, we like to drive other people's vehicles, and I've been taught, a vehicle is something that you cannot afford to pay back. So you don't drive everybody's car. You get in your own car, drive your own car, stay in your own lane, which means mind your own business, stay focused, and everything else gonna fall in place.
Mhm.
And
Amen.
if it comes to a point where you feel like it's something in the road, safely get out the way and go around.
Mhm. Amen. Oh Lord, I like that because I myself I try to stay in my lane. You know,
Yeah,
it's hard for females. It's hard for
yeah.
us. It's like we got to go the extra mile no matter what we do, whether we're singing, whether we're dancing, we're DJing. If we are captains of a plane, a ship, whatever, we got to go that extra mile, man.
10 times harder.
Ooh, it's
10
it,
times harder.
Yeah,
And
it's something.
sometimes cultural, like it don't make it no better because now that I got to work 10 times hard, now I got to work double the 10. Oh, so I know. Trust me, I know. I've had just because you see a smile don't mean that there's never been no heartbreak here. So I know how hard I have to work. And I was raised like that. You know, whatever you do, know that you got to do double your portion. Because somewhere in the world, somebody feel like a silver spoon was already given to you. So that makes you required to have to work harder.
Okay. Do you got any future projects that you're working on right now?
I am working on some music. My passion for music is never gonna die. Um, I'm just taking my journey slower. I'm really taking it real slow. And I don't say that to say slow as in procrastinating slow. I'm taking it slow because my music is also a ministry for me. So whatever I do now, I'm starting to realize that I have to really hear from God. Like, is this something that you want me to do? Even with the contents that I deliver, because I have one song that, we didn't play that, but that's I Cared. A lot of people may listen to the song as it's the woman's side piece, and now I don't want to live by condemnation or be thought of as, well, what was that song really? You was you the side piece woman or stuff like that? So now I'm finding myself having to go back and be careful with even some of the contents that I deliver, because if you remember earlier in the session when I talked to you, I told you that I was a preacher's kid. So I feel like I'm always underneath the spotlight. People always looking to see what I'm going to do, what I'm going to say, and I'm going to say something that out of the ordinary. And then, when I put out some of the contents that I put out, I have to go back to church that Sunday, sing praise and worship, and then I have my church members, they looking at me like, oh, I heard that song on such and such and such, what that was about. So now I'm starting to realize that, I want to be able to put out good, relatable contents, but I want to be able to be relatable enough that it doesn't be offensive to anybody, if that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense because you got a lot of people are very judgmental. They don't think secular music. They have a problem with secular music, and
Very much so.
if you're in the church, there's a lot of, oh, you up there, just like you just said, oh, you're singing that, and you supposed to be a PK. It to
It's been
me,
a hard journey just in this little short time that I've, like I say, July 2023 was when I released my I Care song. So this July will be a full year that I've been, within the music thing. And I've heard a lot. I've heard some stuff that almost broke me, but I've also had some good inspirational people that told me you got to have tough skin.
mm,
It's okay for people to be opinionated. It's okay for them to say certain things. I've had some to say, you don't sound like a Southern Soul artist, or you don't sound like this type of artist, or you sound too such and such this, or you sound too proper. I've had a lot, but I took years of voice lessons. I'm one of those people that I'm real big on artist development. So whereas you may see one artist, I don't worry about what somebody else got going on and how they delivering what they delivering. That's their own business. I don't even care. So, but the point that I'm trying to make, whereas you may see one person saying repeatedly putting out music, and that's fine. I'm never going to be a person that tell anybody not to put their contents out. I'm totally the opposite. Whereas a lot of people will take money and put it into putting out music back to back to back. I'm putting out money trying to figure out who I can get to train my voice to do this. Because what people don't understand is I only get one instrument. I don't have a physical instrument that I play. I don't play a flute. I don't play clarinet. I don't play a saxophone. I don't play piano, anything like that, even though my knuckles got beat up because that was something that my parents wanted me to do for us play the piano. So it was like sitting on the piano playing. I know how to pick a few keys. But the reason I take artist development so serious is because with this one instrument that I have to take care of it. I have to preserve it. I have to do whatever I have to do because if this one instrument go out on me, I don't get another one. It's only one that I get a lifetime. So I have to do and take care of it the proper way that I've been taught to take care of it. So whereas my point that I'm making is I don't put out a lot of contents. I have 3 songs. I'm working on a 4th song right now, but the buckload of wherever I would spend any money will be into artist development, because that's where I figure I need the most in my life, because you never stop being a student. You never stop learning. So I want to continue to put my resources there. Even if I was to ever get hold to some resources, that's probably what I would do, come up with a school for individuals that have the same passion that I have, because I see that there's a need for it. And, you know, what some people may think sound good could be the beginning of what's going to be a lifelong time of problems. And that's with that voice box, you know, because just because it sounds good singing it that way, don't mean that it's healthy that way.
Ooh, wait. You need to say that one more time. Say it for the people in the back.
Just because it sounds good that way, don't mean that it's healthy for your lungs that way. If that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. A lot of artists need to take notes on this. Y'all need to go back and watch this broadcast, because she has dropped some jewels in here today. I mean, I get a lot of music that comes to me, and, you know, coming from my ear, everybody has their own opinions, and some things don't sound right. And I wish other DJs would stop being scared to tell an artist when something isn't right. Maybe
Oh yeah,
save them some dollars.
yeah. I've had vocal instructors. I've had 2. Before I started working with Ty, I had Trevante Hill, who's doing a lot of work with Benjamin Combs. He does gospel. He's on the gospel side. Trevante Hill, he's from Fayette, Mississippi, well-known pianist up there in that area. But one of the things that we used to always talk about a lot when I was practicing my voice lessons was phrasing. You know, you don't want to phrase too much when making music. And a lot of people aren't even aware of the fact that your song is too phrasy. Like, you got too many words in here. Like, have you actually counted it out? You know, another thing that we used to always hit on, like, you know, as an artist myself, just beginning, you know, whenever I was to be able to do, whether it's a track performance, live performance, or someone was just playing for me, I would need to say, hey, look, I need you to you got me in an A flat, but I need to be on a G sharp, you know, being able to, as an artist, know the scale, so that when you singing, I can tell you where I need you to put me, because I don't feel comfortable here. Because sometimes you can do a live show and you have your band trying to force you to sing in a certain range, when really that's not the appropriate range that you need to be in. So I need to tell you, like, look, bring me down, bring me right here. But if I don't know what it sounds like on a keyboard, or I'm not a listener to that, I don't know what to tell you to do. So that's why I take artist development real serious. That's where I take and put my money to. That's where I'm trying to learn, you know, increase my knowledge in that area, be a student in the game in that area. So when I do have that opportunity to work with a live band, I can say, oh, I know absolutely this don't sound right. If it don't sound right to my ears, because I'm the one singing it. And if it don't sound right to me, then it's not going to sound right to the audience.
Amen to that. Oh, man. You done dropped some stuff in here today. We got a couple of more minutes. I can hit that I cared, if you like, for me to
Sure.
a bit of that. All right. Well, you want to introduce that track for them?
For you guys that don't know me, I'm Melodic Princess, and this is my first single release, I Cared.
We were together for so many years. Surprised his wife, didn't know he was always here. He didn't give me no holidays, not one or no special time. I knew that those days would never be mine. Oh, you know I care, and Lord knows I hate to share, but I couldn't see you when I want. I had to see you when I could. Yeah, oh, I've been home, but now it's understood. I couldn't see you when I want. I had to see you when I could. Yeah, oh, I've been home, but now it's understood. Maybe she didn't do the things I done in bed. And I made sure when you left the house, the vows of sex never left our bed. Boy, you know I care, and Lord knows I hate to share,
that. That sounds like some Tony T behind that on that production.
That is Tony T. That's Tony T.
When I heard that he got a little jingle in there that he using, I
Uh-huh.
said that's Tony T all over.
Yes, that's him. He worked real hard with me on this song because I was in my walking in the doors moment. So I was very apprehensive about a lot of stuff, nervous about a lot of stuff, very reluctant about a lot of stuff. And I think he was one of the first ones told me, like, you have the voice, like you have it, but you got to sing that song like that's your song. That's your song. So sing it like it's yours. So I had to go back and revamp it, like rework, like go back a second time, be like, okay, like we really ready to record this now. So he had to tell me, like, sing that song like it's yours. That's your song. Sing it.
And I like that. I mean, it's catchy and it's kind of upbeat. You need to push that one too. So
Yeah.
we got to bring you back out now. We got to bring you back out. Let me say this. Salute to my DJ brothers. I got a few of them on the feed here, so salute to you guys. DJ Harvey, DJ Percy, and I saw a few other people in Q Lee. It was quite a few people been checking in and got some hearts going up. So we trying to get you hot on the scene. So gentlemen, if you guys are not playing Miss Melodic Princess, make sure to tap in with me and I'll be glad to send that over to you guys. Don't sleep on her. She's new, she's hot, and she know her stuff. So
Thank you.
I for one, I just want to thank God for allowing me to, connect with you. Thanks to Lit West.
Thanks.
Because if it wasn't from him, we wouldn't have collided.
Right.
He's a very humble young man, and you know, he's elevating well. And your season is already here. You don't even know it.
Mhm.
Just
Thank you.
continue doing what you're
I
doing.
humbly, I take that, and I'm appreciative to that, hearing it.
Yes,
Like I said, I've always said, and I stand true to, I'm not in a rush for it, but if whenever God say go, I'm ready.
but he's already using you as a vessel already. And through your music, you're gonna keep reaching people. You know that like I said, your voice is so soft and and you got some strongness in there too. I can hear it. So I can't wait, you guys. July the 18th through the 22nd, she will be in Orlando, Florida, and she's gonna be performing live several times. So she's gonna be at the Fleet Conference in Orlando, Florida. So if you guys hadn't got yourself together, y'all might need to come and check us out because we gonna be hot this summer. So Miss Melodi's gonna come do her thing. She's gonna perform on the Dukes and Boots Southern Soul Day Party. Also, she's gonna be on the sound stage that Saturday night. And if everything works out and we get everything mapped out, she will be doing the lit gospel on Sunday because we can't end the week without giving God some praise. So, is there any closing remarks that you want to give? Let people know where they can follow you on social media. Anything you want to
Well,
give?
you guys can follow me on social media. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. My main spot that I tell people all the time, I'm old and I don't operate them tools, them resources like everybody else do. Like they be from TikTok to Instagram to, I stay in one place. But I do have a TikTok page. I do have Instagram. I do have Twitter. But you would definitely can find me on Facebook. My music is on all digital platforms out there. So whatever tool is your preference of finding my music, it is out there. It has been out there some time. And I tell people if they just don't know absolutely know where to find it, I guarantee you can find it on YouTube. I do have another few events that, I do have coming up, some projects that, I'm working on a new song, like I said. Also, have a performance that I'll be doing in Shoshetta, Louisiana on May the 19th. And I also have Juneteenth, 14th celebration, which we call Juneteenth celebration. That's going to be on the 14th, where I'll be on stage with LJ Eccles, OB Buchanan, and Abel Hollywood. So that's something else that I have coming up. So like I told you earlier, Pinky, I ain't never been in no rush for nothing, but now is my time that, people get a chance to see who Melodic Princess is, and you guys can come out and I can give you the show and tell you what my performance is like. And then there for us, if my resume don't speak for itself after that, then hey, I take my seat and continue to keep on working like a student, like I supposed to. But now's your opportunity to come out and, see what I'm working with on those days. Like I say, that's May the 19th in Coachella, Louisiana, praise and worship program. If you don't know, you can reach out to Eric Hamilton for the information on that. June the 14th, which is Friday, the doors open at 7 o'clock. Showtime starts at 8 o'clock. And that's Juneteenth celebration. You have on that flyer, it's going to be LJ Eccles, Obu Buchanan, Avell Hollywood, and local artist Melodic Princess will be in the building performing.
That's gonna be a bad show. That's a bad show. And if y'all can't find it on these musical platforms, y'all can hit me up. I don't mind sending, emails out. I could do an email blast and get that music out to you guys because y'all sleeping on it. So promoters, y'all make sure y'all check out Miss Melodic P, Miss Melodic Princess, however y'all want to call her. Y'all need to hit her up because I'm telling you, she's one of the next waves that's going.
And a lot of times people ask, I've had one podcast host ask me, will I do a promotional show? I want people to know Melodic Princess is a community resource. So which means that anything dealing with promotional, as long as it's realistic for me, I don't mind doing a promotional show. I do promotional shows because guess what? I'm an upcoming artist. I'm not filling no seats. So anything that I can get people to understand and resonate who Melodic Princess, who she really is, then yes, I would take coverage of a promotional show.
All right. Well, as you know, guys, we are getting ready to close out. I thank each and every one of you for tuning in today. Like you said, check out Miss Melodic Princess. And if you don't have that music, hit me up. I'll be glad to give it out. But before we close out, make sure you love yourself first. Tell someone that you love them because life is too short. We buried a family member of mine this weekend, my first cousin. So he broke that first cousin circle, and it still seems so unreal. But in this lifetime, y'all, you got to get it while you can. So always tell somebody that you love them.
Absolutely. And again, condolences to you and your family. And thank you for having me on your show tonight.
I appreciate you coming on. It was a pleasure having you here because people need to see these faces and these platforms here. It helps. It'll help me to help you. That way people can see you, and that way, as a DJ, I get to know a little bit more about you because I don't want to just play your music, but I want to know who you are while I'm playing that music. So I know now, hey, this lady right here does da 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 da. So we got it.
Right. Right.
So you guys, that will be it for today. Tune in next Tuesday, same time, same place, 6 p.m. every Tuesday. Pure Focus Podcast. Next week I got a treat for you. I got a little funny guy coming in. Then in a few weeks later, I got Mr. Rick Outlaw bringing a couple of his artists on. So y'all stay tuned. I got some treats coming. So y'all be blessed, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. See you later.